Palm Sunday, an event that marks the beginning of Holy Week and the final transformative days of Jesus' earthly ministry. Today, we explore how this day, celebrated on April 13, 2025, reminds us that God's plan often unfolds in unexpected ways. But what if the way God fulfills His promises looks different than we expect? On Palm Sunday, we commemorate Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem, a moment that signaled the beginning of the most critical week in Christian history. As Jesus rode into the city on a humble donkey, crowds spread their cloaks and palm branches along His path, crying out, "Hosanna!" a plea for salvation. Have you ever celebrated something without fully understanding what it meant? This wasn't just a celebration, it was a declaration. It announced, "This is the promised Messiah," even as the people clung to hopeful expectations for a political savior. To truly grasp Palm Sunday's power, we must understand its cultural and religious backdrop. Jerusalem was filled with people during Passover, a festival of remembrance, liberation, and hope. In Jewish tradition, palm branches signified victory and joy. They were symbols of triumph and were often used during military victories, yet here they heralded a king of peace. Could the crowd have misunderstood the kind of king Jesus truly was? Furthermore, Jesus deliberately chose to ride a donkey, a symbol of peace in Jewish culture, as kings of old rode donkeys during times of peace rather than war. In doing so, He defied the world's expectations of power and instead highlighted the promise of a peaceful kingdom founded on love and compassion. Palm Sunday is also a fulfillment of ancient prophecy. The prophet Zechariah declared, "Rejoice greatly, daughter Zion. Your king has come, righteous and victorious, lowly and riding on a donkey." This prophecy was fulfilled that day when Jesus entered Jerusalem in precisely that manner. Is it possible that God's plan was unfolding, even when it seemed unexpected? Psalm 118 further echoes this truth. "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." The cries of "Hosanna" from the crowd were not just an expression of joy, they were a call for salvation, a deep collective cry for rescue from sin and death. Thus, Palm Sunday captures a divine paradox, a humble king who conquers through sacrificial love. Today, Palm Sunday challenges us to reflect on our understanding of power and victory. It reminds us that true triumph isn't achieved through force or political might, but through love, humility, and obedience to God's will. What does real victory look like in your life today? When we see the palm branches and hear the cries of Hosanna, we are reminded that our Savior came to bring life, not just in a historical event, but in our everyday struggles. It's a call to place our hope not in earthly power, but in a kingdom built on grace, sacrifice, and eternal love. Are you ready to embrace the true victory of Christ? Remember, the humble king who came on a donkey still reigns today. Celebrate Palm Sunday. Experience the triumph of peace over power. If you believe, type Hosanna in the comments. Subscribe and share to celebrate the King of Peace.